So I've used DK Global on a number of occasions prior to this case, and I've found them to be very helpful. My name is Luke Abel. I'm a lawyer here in Oklahoma City with Abel Law Firm.
My name is Matthew Wade. I'm an attorney here also at the Abel Law Firm, representing injured Oklahomas.
So the Boswell matter involved a gentleman named Dustin Boswell. Dustin Boswell is a blue collar type individual worker. He worked in the concrete mixing industry for really all of his adult life. And in this instance, he was working for a company here in Oklahoma City as a concrete mixer driver, and he was injured while using a concrete mixer truck that in essence essentially rolled over him.
Our objective, number one, was to prove that the concrete mixer truck that Mr. Boswell was operating was manufactured improperly, that it was a dangerous truck. That was number one. Number two then was to show what his injuries were, the extent of his injuries, what his future needs would be. Mr. Boswell is in a position where he will never work again because of his injuries. And so it was a big factor in showing what his future needs would be.
It was a relatively new truck, and there were some challenges in explaining to the jury how this truck failed, but also explaining to the jury why Mr. Boswell did what he did and why they should still award him compensation for what happened. As we got into the case, as we learned more and more about the product, about the safety features of the truck or the lack of the safety features, our strategy was always continuing and evolving as we went through the discovery process. We used these animations in mediation. We were in federal court, and so we did an illustration of how the incident occurred involving Mr. Boswell, meaning how he was hurt. So one was, how does this truck function, and what are some of the aspects of this truck that are kind of difficult to explain if you don't have an animation. We did a recreation, as I said, of the incident itself, and then we did a kind of a damages illustration which showed Mr. Boswell's injuries.
A lot of times in these types of cases, in product liability cases, you're looking for that one piece of evidence of had they done X or had they done Y, maybe this wouldn't have happened. And we were fortunate enough during the course of our case that we were able to find some of that evidence of had X and Y been done, Mr. Boswell likely would not have been injured. And so being able to adapt our strategy during the course of the litigation to include that information that we discovered helped. And then being able to provide that to DK Global so that they could incorporate that into the animation, I think was visually really helpful to us.
This case did get resolved shortly after mediation. We didn't end up having to try the case. I think in part thanks to DK Global. We reached a confidential settlement that the Boswells were very pleased with. So I've used DK Global on a number of occasions prior to this case, and I'm in Oklahoma, they're off in California, but that has not been a challenge for us at all, and I've found them to be very helpful. We give them the initial information they need. They coordinate with our experts. We put them in touch with the experts, which makes it kind of easy on us. They ensure that their animations are either medically sound or accurate in terms of whatever it needs to be. And so my experience with DK Global has been fantastic. Not only that, I've never regretted getting them involved.
Luke had some experience with DK Global. This was my first experience with them. It was well worth every penny that we spent on it, because it absolutely not only, I think, helped us in our mediation, I think it gave some information to the other side that allowed them to see that not only did we understand what happened, we understood the engineering aspect of this, the technical aspect of it, but that we were willing to put forth the time, the effort, and the money to make this case go where it needed to go. And so I think that gave them some incentive to get the case resolved. And so it was very beneficial to us, and I would absolutely use them again. As a matter of fact, we are on another case right now. So.